I sing that song at least once a day in my head.
Really?
I
Why?
do. I don't know why. I wasn't like a big
Heavily.
fan of that show as a kid, but it's just a very I don't know, a very pleasant song. I don't know.
Is it uplifting for you?
I guess so. That's the song that like kind of pops in my head when I'm in like a decent mood. So I don't know.
Why the hell? Why do I feel like you would do like a metal version of that song?
Oh, I do it all the time. I growl it every single day.
How would that go?
Oh no!
I don't know how. I'm not gonna do it in the microphone. It's it's usually under my breath. Number one, the other day I was driving in the car and like a fucking banger that I haven't heard in a really long time came on, and I was like gonna go for it, and then I growled and I almost made myself throw up. So I don't think I have it. I can't do it anymore.
If I
I
do
can't do it anymore.
anything, if I do anything like real gritty with my voice, like just like an impersonation or something, fucking, I'll die. It just I've lost it.
I just man, I had such a cool range in my early 20s about what I could do, and I can't do any of it anymore.
I mean, that's just the cost of getting older, I guess.
You
But I
turn
used
into
to,
a
man,
woman.
I could, being in a band, I used to like just start. I would just, without any regards to my voice, just low growl and just scream and then immediately to like because I thought I was helping myself. I would go chug orange juice like after every show, especially if we had a show like the next night. Because for some reason, one time when I was like in seventh or like 10th grade, I went to a concert and did that, and my voice was fine the next day. And it's because I'm like I'm preserving my voice,
But
and
did
it
it
hurt
work?
like hell.
Did it work after?
I can't say I don't know if it necessarily worked, but it didn't hinder anything.
So,
but that was my go-to.
Lord of the Rings behind the scenes. There's a video of the guy who played Gollum, Andy Serkis, drinking Gollum juice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally just like a mixture of hot tea, honey, lemon, and some like just other shit. And he'd always he'd gargle that right before he would start his performance.
One of my favorite metal vocalists, that's you see him drinking it before and in between songs later on in his career.
Yeah.
So I mean that's common.
I mean, it just doesn't strike me as like a good thing to grate your vocal cords like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, the singer I'm talking about was like a singer, like a good singer, not like a
he was just like all the time.
Yeah, he wasn't that. He was like a singer. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I don't
know if you've ever heard of Dream Theater, but it's a singer for Dream Theater.
Yeah, I've heard of Dream Theater.
Yeah, that was my favorite band when I was younger. So that dude. I even when I remember walking. So as a graduation present, my from high school, my parents bought me and a friend tickets to go see them at Radio City Music Hall in New York.
Oh.
So we flew up to New York and did that, and we were standing the night before the concert. And we were standing at a crosswalk waiting for the light to turn, and right next, I mean, I look next to me, and it's James Labrie and Jordan Rudess, the singer and the keyboardist from Dream Theater, and I smacked my friend in the arm, like I fucking nailed him to like get his attention, and we just kind of start talking to him and stuff like that. I ended up getting a picture with him, but he was drinking that drink, and I asked him about it, and it was funny. He was like, "Yep, it's exactly what you said it was." So, and then I felt creepy after that conversation.
Oh my god! He's like, "Are you gonna kill me now?" Fucking random super fan.
pretty much. Oh, and then like 2 years later, I got to do a meet and greet with them in Dallas. And I asked him about that, and he said, that does sound familiar. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
Nice. Well, everybody, welcome to Rant On number 51. I did verify that Twitch was right. Congratulations, me. Todd is not here tonight. Was there a
debate?
No, I just literally put Rant On 51, question mark. Because I literally just pulled a number out of the ether because I thought it was episode 51, and I was right.
Our last one was episode 50, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but I was like, did we have an episode in between that one? And then I realized how much of a lazy like fucking group we are in terms of recording this podcast on a regular basis.
Our
And
last episode was 2 weeks ago. This one is today. It
yeah,
seems pretty on schedule to me.
when was the last episode before that, Michael?
You're starting to sound like David over here talking about, oh, we only have 2 listeners.
Oh no, I
You
appreciate
gotta believe in us, Geoff.
I do. I appreciate all of our listeners. I'm just saying we have like the most sporadic recording schedule ever. Ever. I think Retrospects is much more regular than we are. They have they take their fiber on a
We
daily
try.
basis.
I mean, they're regular and they're what, like 12, 15 episodes?
No, they had 19 episodes.
This next episode is 20.
Ah, okay.
You know what's scary about that, Michael?
What?
How many years have we been doing this?
But how long ago did we switch to Rant On?
Yeah, but again, I'm just saying, how many years have we been doing this? And we're only up to episode 50?
I mean,
Episode 50 on
50
Rant On.
episodes every 2 weeks would take 2 years.
Yeah.
So
and we've been doing
I'd
it
say
for
we're
like
probably not that bad.
No, we've been doing this for 6 years.
Rant On?
In general.
No.
The whole
we're not at
thing.
50
The old
the
episodes
whole
don't
thing.
count toward the Rant On counter.
I understand that they don't. But what I'm saying is how many episodes do you think Press Start Gaming was?
I have no idea.
28.
Okay.
And then Gadget Inspectors was like, God only knows. And then and then Real Reporters was like, I don't know, 5 before Todd killed it because he was so like he hated it.
And we can't even bring up the other ones.
No, we can't bring up the other ones.
They lasted a whole 1.5 episodes.
But
I mean,
it's funny though.
Pitmaster's Craft 10 episodes before we're bored with it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Nah.
Eventually, I mean, we're gonna run out of ideas. We're gonna run out of ways to describe sausages without seeming too phallic.
Well,
I mean,
so
I did it the first episode right away.
which you didn't
went
think you
full-
got, which you didn't think you were caught by
Yeah,
originally.
but
You're
now
like, oh,
I went full phallic here.
I don't think
Jesus.
I don't think it'll get boring. I think we'll just like have to evolve like different food spots that we go to. And at that point it's gonna be a
We
different
could
show
do
entirely.
tacos. No one can be tired of tacos.
Oh, I strongly disagree with that.
You can get tired of tacos?
Yeah,
Sarah
hell
gets
yeah.
tired of tacos very easily.
David, I'm so here's the thing though. Tacos is like such a wide thing
It
though.
is.
Like you could, because once you get tired of like the normal taco, then you can go, oh, breakfast taco, or then you can go
Not only do you have breakfast
like,
tacos,
just
but
change up the taco.
you can get tacos at a barbecue
Tacos
place.
is my favorite food.
You
of
can
all
get a
time,
brisket
so.
taco.
Yeah, I do like a good brisket taco. Like so I only have two
tacos are going to be really fun in Houston because we could hit some taco trucks that are going to make Jeff's hair curl. Just looking at them,
No, dude.
they're gonna give
Those
us
are
the
the
best
best
tacos
ones.
we've ever fucking had.
Did I tell you about the time that the cafeteria at my job decided to like bring me to a new level of heat that I had never experienced before?
Oh, did they add black pepper?
Ah, fuck off. No, so like I would say
That's so
before I started dating Julia, I was the whitest boy possible, right? I just didn't like spicy food. Since I've been dating her, and she's more accustomed to spicier food, much far spicier food than I am, I've built up a tolerance of sorts. I can eat hot sauce. I like hot sauce now of a certain flavor. As long as it's not like Indian food, for instance, that's too much for me. That's way
Let
too
me ask you a
hot.
question, and I don't want to interrupt. Is there a certain pepper that like does it for you? Like that, like you when you see that pepper, you're like, fuck that.
No, it's not a specific pepper. I don't have problem. Like I've had ghost peppers and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me.
Ghost peppers doesn't bother you.
No.
Ghost
Well, I mean,
peppers
like
sauce
I've
aren't
never.
that bad,
don't
though.
bother.
Hold on. Let me take a step back first off.
I don't think Jeff's ever eaten a whole ghost pepper.
Right. I've never eaten a whole ghost pepper. I've had like ghost pepper sauce and it hasn't bothered me. It's been just fine. So I guess maybe they must have fucked up the sauce or something because it wasn't that bad. Anyways, it was, I want to say taco salad. Okay. And I couldn't tell you what the sauce was. All I know is that for the next 20 minutes, I took one bite and I couldn't feel my tongue. And it was so painful. It was worse than any Indian food I've ever had. It was so painful that I couldn't eat lunch. My lunch was ruined after that. I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking hungry anymore because that was just goddamn pain and I hated it.
That sucks.
I was literally downing as much rice as possible because I was like, surely starch will alleviate that. It made it worse because the rice was super hot, like just temperature wise, not like flavor wise. And I refuse, anytime they have Mexican food at the cafeteria, I refuse to eat it now because I'm like, I'm not gonna get burned again. Literally.
So, what did they? Do you know how they messed it
No.
up?
No, I don't. I couldn't, like, for the life of me, I couldn't tell you. Like,
Did
I
other people
will.
have the same problem?
No, just me.
Were
Just
you
me.
the
wonder
only
what
person who had
what it was.
Yeah, that day that I know of. Now, I will say also that they don't have anything that's like store bought in the cafeteria. It's all made from scratch. All
No, I
their
get that.
sauces, all their dressings, everything.
Is there?
So
Have you pissed off anybody in the kitchen?
No, not that I know of.
I'm just thinking somebody like.
Well, no, because it's
saw
like
you
it's a
coming and, like,
line.
cut up
It's
a
a
whole
line,
ghost
Michael.
pepper, stuck that bitch in there.
No. It's a line. So you go through the line, you say, I want this, this, and this, and it all comes from the same bottle. So if they just like super fucked up the bottle that day, then maybe. But I couldn't tell you what it was, but anytime they serve Mexican food at the cafeteria now, I'm just like, not doing it. I can't. The only exception to that rule is their breakfast tacos because they don't use that sauce ever. But you know, tacos, like, there's not a lot of taco places in Houston I haven't tried yet.
No, I'm not talking.
I know
like
you're talking about like a food.
Torchy's.
You're talking like a food truck. I understand. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I'm not even talking a food truck. I'm talking like these semi-permanent taco stands that have to be rebuilt every 2 or 3 years because they like rot away because they're so poorly built. Like,
yeah, I've eaten at a couple of those.
The more dilapidated and torn down the building is, the better the tacos tend to be.
Now, and I wouldn't consider this a traditional breakfast taco what we had, but that One in a Million was really good.
Oh,
One in a Million in Austin is
that was
one of the best.
Fantastic. I wouldn't consider that a traditional breakfast taco though. Like, they just happen to serve you a shit ton of eggs with tortillas on the side, and you have to make your own.
It's like breakfast fajitas almost.
Kind of like just assemble your own taco and call it a day. And that's fine. I mean, if they consider it a breakfast taco, like I legit don't remember if that's what it's called on the menu. But like, probably the best breakfast taco I've ever had, hands down. I have not been back since, and that disappoints me. So
yeah, I could see that being upsetting. I don't know. Every time I go to Austin, I try so many new places.
Yeah, because I
almost never go back to the same place because there's so many different places to try.
Yeah.
The only time
then you feel bad about not getting the other thing, you know?
The only time I've gone back to a place so far is Home Slice.
I did go back to Home Slice, yes, because I wanted to take Sarah and her mother there because we were up there.
Yeah, I took.
I got fucked. I got fucked because I wanted to go back to Home Slice, but we literally drove there and then it was Tuesday. What happens with Home Slice on Tuesday? It's fucking closed.
Yeah, it's a weird ass day to be closed, I guess, but because most places, if they're going to close, it's usually Monday.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe they just have like a thing on Tuesday that they always do.
No, I remember like it was somebody that said it had something to do with the water in Austin. I don't know.
See, I'm not sure I believe that, but
I don't believe it either. I'm just saying, like, somebody had mentioned something about that.
yeah. No, see, what it probably is you'll notice a lot of a lot of Asian places, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, whatever, will be closed on Mondays.
Yep.
It's because a lot of places are run, small businesses. If you're not closed a day, whoever your proprietor is or your owner is probably working 7 days a week. So they close for a day so that they have a day off.
Sounds
Yeah,
about
I get
right.
it.
Yep.
And they can't close, Saturday, Sunday like most businesses because that's most restaurants' busiest days. So you get it out of the way Monday or Tuesday and go on with your week.
Yeah, and the last time I had it, I actually just ordered takeout and had it at Sasha and Andrew's apartment. It was pretty nice. Just as tasty. Oh, it smelled so fucking good. That smell is the most intoxicating smell outside.
What
Just the pizza being made, like you can smell it as soon as you
yeah.
walk up. It's like just marinates the air in a way that I've never had with any other pizza place. I don't know what they do. They just like have vents or something that go outside and they say, "Come smell the pizza."
Jimmy John style.
Yeah, I've had way too many Jimmy John sandwiches recently.
They make a it's just, I don't want to support that company, but it's just really convenient.
That's the problem.
I've had Jimmy John's on one occasion and I wasn't impressed and I've never gone back.
And that's the problem. It's just okay enough.
Yeah.
That like it's just okay enough that it's like
The
Would you say
okay.
it's better than Subway?
Yes, I would say it's better than
Yes.
Subway.
Because my issue
Especially-
with Jimmy John's is their sandwich wasn't very big. And at least Subway, like that $5 footlong is gonna fill you up.
Well, have you heard about the most recent thing with Subway?
I mean, I don't eat at Subway that often either, but no.
About their tuna?
No, I'm worried
I also
now.
don't eat their tuna.
They did it. I mean, even when I was eating animal stuff, I wasn't eating their tuna. I know that my wife liked their tuna, but they did like a study of like a sample of the tuna, and they found it to be a good chunk of it not tuna. I'm pulling it up right now.
Which isn't shocking.
So wait, was it a different kind of fish?
It's a Subway's tuna is not tuna, but a mixture of various concoctions. And remember they had like
I
a
mean, you
few
say various
years ago.
concoctions. Are we talking arsenic? Are we talking chicken of the land? Are we talking tofu? Like
Based on independent lab tests of multiple samples taken from Subway locations in California, tuna is a mixture of various concoctions that do not constitute tuna, yet have been blended together by defendants to imitate the appearance of tuna. According to where are they gonna say?
I mean, it's a tuna salad, so
we
having
found
stuff
that
in
the
it is
ingredients were
expected.
not tuna and not fish.
Well,
I guess they're not saying what it is. But
I mean,
so I don't trust
they-
that. I don't trust that wording at all.
if they know it's not tuna, but they don't know what it is, like, is it?
I'm reading. I'm kind of reading it as I'm talking.
Well, So here's the thing: you got to think about the fact that what Michael just brought up. It's a tuna salad, meaning there's going to be things like mayonnaise, eggs, other products to make the tuna taste.
Right.
well,
it's not
here's,
a
but here's the thing, though, and again, I don't give a shit. Like but
Well, yeah, I don't
here's
get
what it says is that, like, if you go to Subway's website and you look at the nutritional information, it says the tuna salad for its sandwiches contains flaked tuna in brine, mayonnaise, and an additive to protect flavor.
Right.
But apparently it doesn't like have any tuna in it. So, and that's the thing. I think it's a false advertisement more than it is this is dangerous to eat.
I mean,
Again-
yeah, it's probably filler, and it's I mean, they said flaked tuna. Okay, that sounds like something that's been dehydrated and then rehydrated, which would remove the amount of actual tuna that's there.
Sure, yeah.
But if you're gonna tell me it's not tuna, okay, what is it? If you can't tell me what it is, I'm gonna call bullshit.
Well,
Right.
actually, the website says it's 100% real wild caught tuna.
And that very well could be, but we're not taking into account the processing.
Okay,
that
but
it
if you
goes through.
trademark the term wild caught tuna, you could call a piece of steak that its name is wild caught tuna.
No,
He's not wrong.
No, legally you can't.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, it's not trademarked.
Well, either way, even if it isn't 100%, well, they're not saying what kind of tuna. Now, unfortunately, tuna does come in several different varieties. Okay, so it's not necessarily ahi tuna or bluefin tuna or whatever.
Can we just all agree that tuna is disgusting and just move on?
Absolutely
So,
not. I absolutely love
disagree.
ahi tuna.
Okay,
Ah,
I don't
Jesus.
eat it anymore.
Tuna
I don't.
salad
obviously,
is kind
it's
of
really
shit.
fucking good. Tuna fish, and especially like so. My wife, who hates seafood, used to really like tuna fish. So I mean it's one of those. More people like it than they don't. I feel
See,
like
I want whole tuna. I'm not big on tuna
like
salad.
an ahi tuna salad sort of thing.
No, I want sushi. I want pieces of tuna.
Yeah,
That's ahi tuna. That's tuna. Yeah.
I mean, whether it's ahi or yellowtail or whatever,
I just threw
So
I want
okay,
actual pieces of fish. I don't want
I will
cut
go
up and
back.
mixed into a salad.
Yeah, I will go back and say I like tuna and sushi. But to be fair, whenever I have sushi,
I don't think you like mayonnaise that much.
no, I really don't. Not that much.
Yeah.
Jeff doesn't
with
like
you.
any
That's what-
condiment in any large quantity.
No, it's
Well,
disgusting.
they make a at Whole Foods.
Then how can you
it's-
eat it at
it's-
McDonald's? They just blob it on there. With
Oh,
a
Jeff
gun.
also hates the phrase mayonnaisal spray.
What?
I've never even heard of that.
Mayonnaisal spray. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Oh no, I used to say that to you all the time when we lived together, and you'd be like, "Huh."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's exactly how you sounded, Jeff.
No, it's because like
These repressed memories
listen,
bubbling to the surface.
people are like, "Oh, you love ranch dressing." My wife has made not necessarily a threat, but she's basically been like, "I'm going to get you a giant thing of ranch dressing for your birthday."
Yeah.
And like just as a joke, obviously, I say she'd never do it, but she's probably listening to me now and saying, "Oh, I'll do it one day."
She's got to order it without you knowing it.
Well, I mean, the easiest way would be going to Sam's Club, but no, actually, they sell.
Have you seen the
like
commercial where they give Jake from State Farm a side of ranch? Like, we're talking like something like that.
No, I'm talking like industrial size tub
Okay,
of
like a
ranch.
drum of
like a
ranch.
restaurant.
Like
Like
a
if you
55-gallon drum.
no, I'm literally talking about if you go into a store, look on the shelf, and it's like a restaurant size jar of ranch or mayonnaise. That disgusts the fuck out of me.
Have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
No, he refused.
So
that
you're probably better off. But there's
No,
a
he's
there's a
not.
scene where they make a 7-layer salad.
Yep.
Oh,
4 out of the
God.
7 layers is mayonnaise.
Blah.
Hey,
Just
look.
straight up man. 7
that's-
cups of mayonnaise. I remember that's exactly the recipe.
It's Marshall's family. They're from the Great White North. It is
St.
what
Cloud,
it is.
Minnesota.
Apparently, the Great White is the mayonnaise.
Okay, that's insulting to people from the north. First off, we
How
have
is-
other
horrible
food.
alternates?
We have other food besides
Okay.
goddamn mayonnaise.
And you're right. You got cheese. There
Wait,
you go.
I'm sorry. Where are you from, Jeff?
I'm from Indiana originally, which is in the north.
Which is not the Great White North.
Okay, what's the Great White North to you?
Minnesota specifically.
Oh, guess where I was born, Michael?
You were born in Minnesota.
Yes, I was born in Minnesota.
You popped your hobbit ass up out of the snow.
Yes. I was born during a blizzard, actually, if that helps you. Any more questions?
So much.
This actually
Does this explain quite a bit now?
It does actually.
It kind of does. It explains the incessant use of the phrase "lol."
How does that explain that?
Because
I
you're
think
just
they're
kind of plucky, eh?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
am I Irish all of a sudden?
No, it's Canada South.
Canada South. Oh Jesus. Well, first off, fuck you. Canada South.
Canada.
Hey, listen, I mean, I would love to go visit Canada sometime. The closest I've been to it is literally a river separating me from the United States, Canada. I've seen Canada.
It's on the bucket list. Vancouver, that's where I'm.
Yeah, not Niagara Falls though. Like I get the whole Niagara Falls thing. Like I'm sure it would be beautiful to look
that's
at.
America.
But like at the same time, I'm like, there's more to. There's got to be more to Canada. There's actually a dude. Shout out to Foresty Forest. He's a dude that lives in a van, and he basically converted a Chevrolet like Sprinter van into a house.
That's the dream,
dude. You should really check out his YouTube video. He just recently he sold his original van, bought a new one, and he's like documenting the process of like building like a bed and all of his like cooking implements and stuff.
What's he called?
Foresty Forest. He even has a theme song now. It's ridiculous. It's literally just goes Foresty Forest. He lives in a van. It's great. I love it. But the really cool thing about him though is he goes into like deep Canadian country, and he does
you know
like
this person?
No, I don't know him personally.
Oh, okay.
I just stumbled upon his channel one day, just really liked it. But he does like summit climbs, and he'll take his drone and just show you like how long it took him to climb the summits and stuff. It's a pretty interesting channel.
Did you in high school read Into Thin Air?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
The book about climbing Mount Everest, the true story.
No, but I know a lot about that.
I recently reread it. If you get it's a short book. You can get through it in an afternoon if you're a fast reader.
Yeah,
it is such a compelling book about like mountain climbing, and they talk about how they literally use the dead frozen bodies of people that have been there for decades as landmarks on where to go next and where not to go.
100%.
Oh my god, it's so fucking fascinating because like you think like the first thing they do is like let's get those bodies down, but literally they can't.
No.
In some instances they literally can't, and they have names. They're like known. They're like, oh, that's there's one guy wearing like green fluorescent like a windbreaker sort of thing, and they're like, oh, there's Green Windy or something like that. It's just like it seems almost human, but it's like it's how so many people are able to climb it now by utilizing those types
the sad part about it is also like Everest is no longer like an insurmountable thing, right?
It's commercialized.
People still die all the time because they're inexperienced, but the amount of waste and trash that is now there going up, because if you think about it, it's not just your trash, it's also your bio waste. And bio waste at those temperatures doesn't just disintegrate like it normally would. It freezes.
You pee a spear and it slides down the mountain.
Speaking of which, we're going to be getting very cold temperatures.
Oh yeah.
I was like, where are you
I literally forgot about
this,
Jeff.
Coming by. So, David, you're going to step outside to pee for whatever reason because you apparently pee outside now. That's just the thing I've got in my head. Okay. You go walk your dogs. And you're like, time to pee. And it's just gonna freeze as soon as it makes contact with the air. It's not even gonna steam.
What you're saying is I'm gonna have a icicle of urine dangling from my urethra.
Yeah, 100%.
That's fucking horrible.
So, for those who don't know, we live in Houston, and it's apparently supposed to never get cold. But it is Monday, Tuesday, I think, and maybe Wednesday. I don't know. Long story short, we in Houston don't know how to drive in snow. Actually, I won't speak for everyone. I'm sure someone knows how to drive in snow. Vaguely. But basically, the whole town just kind of shuts down because
we're inexperienced.
Because we're inexperienced.
But we go to work in a hurricane, so.
Yeah, and still don't quite get that. So, anyways, it's supposed to be the coldest that it's been in 70 years. It's going to be a record that we're going to hit. And we're talking not temperatures below zero, but like pretty fucking close to it. I think it's like 8 degrees one evening or something like that.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I just realized I'm actually the only one in the house on this podcast right now. I've had to go prepare for this storm. I've had to go get little faucet
HEB
covers.
was crazy last night, by the way.
Well,
Oh, it was crazy today.
Julie and I went Friday evening to the grocery store because we're just like, you know what, let's get it out of the way. Just in case we lose power or whatever. The biggest thing about this storm is not necessarily the cold. It's a deep freeze. If there's water that hits the power lines could go down because of the ice. And the other thing is pipes bursting because it's going to be such a deep freeze. Texas pipes weren't made for this.
Texas, and by all our utilities, they are not made for cold weather.
They're not, yeah. And then the
Now
other
they
thing,
run great in hot weather.
the other,
Where other states they'll melt. Ours are like, eh.
yeah, like, so in my attic, my dad actually installed 3 light outlets. This is like, I want to say like March of last year. We actually have heat lamps up in the attic, which I've always joked that if a cop decides to start looking for people who are growing weed, fuck me if he actually like looks up at the roof with like a infrared heat meter during the cold, because he's going to see 3 heat lamps up in the attic. Well, we've got heat lamps up in the attic next to the water pipes. I actually have a heat lamp that's next to, there's like a water cutoff valve in my garage. And then we covered our faucets outside as well. They're also saying to start dripping water from your faucets.
Yeah.
And then they told us
Yeah, we have
not to do that.
ton of backup water.
If you guys it now, don't quote me on this, but city officials have said that they don't want you to do that.
Yeah, because it'll dry up the water system essentially.
Right. So what they're saying is, you covering all your stuff, it should keep everything fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's going to be okay. I hope it's okay. It's just, unfortunately, burst pipes are really expensive to replace and not fun.
I feel like, we've in my lifetime we've never been this cold, and I remember like my dad, getting cold, let's wrap the pipes, let's
and that's like 30-degree weather.
Exactly. And now it's just like, holy shit, they actually might do the thing they've always talked about doing. Because I've never had a pipe burst or anything like that. So
well, the problem is that we're sustaining not sub-zero temperatures, but we're sustaining temperatures under freezing conditions in a deep freeze for multiple days.
Yeah.
And in addition, like, we're not supposed to go above freezing until Thursday.
Right.
Go say that again?
We're not supposed to go above freezing until Thursday.
Ooh.
And in between all of that is Monday is supposed to be wintry mix / snow. Wednesday, we're supposed to get a shit ton of rain again.
Ugh.
And so it's like,
you brought this on to us, Geoff.
How did I bring this on?
All year bitching about hot weather, and we get this bullshit.
Oh, I'm happy with this weather right now. This is fine.
Fuck
yeah,
you.
I love it. I think it feels awesome outside.
Now, like, am I going to go running? Actually, I had to go out of my boxers this morning to go check.
God, you do that, and it's so weird to me, Jeff.
Well, all right.
Part of his American dream. He wants to be the creepy guy that goes out in his underwear to get the mail.
It's not that so much. It's just like, you know what? Like, it just doesn't bother me when I do it.
I'm glad it doesn't bother you, but that poor bastard who happens to get an eyeful.
I mean, you better hope it's not a kid that complains to their parents, because that's exposing yourself to a child, and I think that's a
That's
felony.
what, man. Oh my
No,
god,
it's
I
not.
had that conversation. I had that conversation with my wife at least once a day. Like, if the blinds aren't like closed and we just don't know, and we walk out like after taking a shower, it's like I'm gonna become a sex offender just because the fucking blinds are open because we have
Right.
so many damn kids that live near us.
The only way it would be exposure is if they actually saw something. And my boxers are pretty well closed up.
And he doesn't have anything to show anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
That's right. Fuck you, David. Oh, yeah. So cold weather in Houston. Cross your fingers, everything happens. All right. We're recording this on a Saturday, so we really don't know what's going to happen until next week.
I'm looking at the 10-day, and yeah, it's Monday is 30 degrees is the high.
Yeah.
12 degrees right now is the low. That's what I'm on weather.com reading this. So
I'm not ready.
His balls are shriveling up right now. That's what's happening to David.
Oh.
Just the thought of it. He's just like, oh, fuck.
that's
my knees are starting to hurt.
So my place of employment has closed. I work retail, and we are closed that day now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just got the word as I was kind of towards the end of the day today. We got word that we are closing early on Sunday, and that we are going to be closed on Monday.
See,
well, I mean, who the hell is going to be out in this shit trying to buy something?
So
well,
the
I
big
mean,
thing
I'm
today-
gonna be out driving
no.
and this shit delivering.
Look. No one should be out buying shit. Your life is not worth whatever the fuck you think you need.
Okay, you also work retail. How many
Unfortunately,
people come in on those days that you think are dangerous as fuck, and you're like, I can't believe I'm here right now. And then you have people coming in for, oh, let me get this fucking iPhone case or some shit.
David, is your work open on Monday?
Oh, absolutely. Because who gives a fuck if you die on the way?
I unfortunately see David's being more open than mine. And I know that's being ambiguous to listeners who are like, where the
But
fuck
he's an
do they
essential
work?
worker. Where will people get their
I
food?
mean,
Yeah,
so am I.
he works in a place where there's groceries and other essential
Yeah.
items that you would need.
Yeah, again, life not worth it.
Well, the big thing today was like television antennas, the little backup battery chargers for cell phones and stuff like that.
Heaters were gone.
We've been
last
out
week.
for a day of those.
Yeah.
That's not
So I went to the hardware store just to see if I could get some extra stuff. As soon as we walk in, the guy's like, we're out of pipe insulation. We're out of heaters.
Oh, that's funny.
We're out of this. And I was just like, okay, cool. And then he was you're just checking, like, just to see if they still have it. All I got was some spray foam insulation that I could use for the outside, like pipe covers.
Oh, we had people buying foam noodles, like
pool noodles.
Pool noodles.
Pool
I
noodles
could-
are
yeah, I feel like
actually
we've done
super
that.
effective at that. They're actually
feel like
thicker
we've
than
done
your
that,
normal
yeah.
installation.
Fun
Harder to work
story.
with, and you have to cut it yourself.
There's a guy who recommended getting a bag of mulch, and there's in front of houses, if you've ever seen it, there's a little what looks like a sprinkler box. It's in the ground. That is actually your like water like cutoff valve to the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if that freezes, which it could, that kind of goes all the way up into your house. So the guy's like, just take a bag of mulch, which I thoroughly intend on doing, and just throwing it on top of that box, and it'll keep it insulated.
The whole bag, just the whole bag of mulch.
Just the whole bag of mulch.
Don't empty it. Just don't empty it. Just put it on
That's
top.
what I was. I'm like, you emptying this motherfucker? All right.
No.
I mean,
It's
I
a
what
hot
I would consider
shit
doing
insulation.
is put a trash bag in there, surround the pipes with this trash bag, pour the mulch into that trash bag. Because otherwise you're still going to have that space underneath.
I hope the plumber doesn't hate your guts for doing that.
Well, no, because then you lift the trash bag out when you're done. Once it warms back up.
Yeah, I got
understand
it.
now.
I got it.
Yeah, okay.
To use the trash bag, like you might have to scoop some of it out to make it more, malleable enough to get out from around the pipes. But but the whole key is to eliminate the air, because you know why overpasses freeze? The air gets beneath them.
Yeah. See, I'm worried about. So I live in an apartment that was built and has not really been updated since 1985. So a lot of my my
Copper pipes.
appliances are from the 90s, or early 2000s. I worry about the water. I worry the electricity goes off if it fucking gets windy. Like,
Oh shit.
so we're just making sure we've got a couple of the backup batteries. We've got, we've got our cell phones charged. We've got a shit ton of water backup. We have.
Do
tons
you
of
have
food and
like
stuff
an
that.
emergency blanket or anything like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
My wife is like, I wouldn't call her like a prepper, if you know what I mean. Like,
No,
she's not
I know what you're saying. I get
but
the same
I'll just
way.
say this: we have go bags.
You have what bags?
We have go bags just in
Oh.
case.
Bug out bags?
Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Is it a normal thing?
It is.
Bug out bags?
In
Okay,
Houston,
It is.
Fair enough.
It is semi-normal.
in Houston, I would consider it semi-normal just because of hurricanes and stuff. Like
I remember, man.
you
I
just
remember
want to have
watching,
one.
like, right when she was getting into it. I remember watching this show about doomsday preppers, and the girl that they were talking to lived in Houston, and she's got a go bag and a whole system and stuff like that, and like baby Bjorns for like her 2 dogs and stuff like that. But then she's like, and if things get real bad, I've got this one pistol. It's got 2 bullets in there, one for this dog and one for this dog. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. My brain would never go to that thought process.
And here is where Todd would say something about your dog.
My dog,
Oh dear.
the sweet release, I don't know.
Oh Jesus.
He's doing just fine in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting time. I mean, my job. This is how ambiguous my job was. They're like, look, you can look out your front door, and if you tell us you can't make it in, just say you can't make it in. Just work from home. But we can't tell you you're working from home. You have to make that decision.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
And
They don't want to pay you for it.
no, I'm salary. I get
Oh,
paid regardless. It doesn't affect me
That's
at
true.
all. No, it's more of, so the company I work for is a contractor for the main client that I work for. And the main client requires us to be there. So we typically, like, whatever the client tells us, hey, we're going to be here, we're going to be working, we're open. We typically have to follow that protocol. Now, obviously, we could skirt it if, situations like this.
So unless you're
yes, unless the
the
job
client says don't show up, they can't actually, or your employer can't tell you not to show up.
Correct. So this is like a technicality thing. Like, hey, like, obviously, if you feel like you can't safely make it in, just work from home. You can work from home. So it won't be a huge deal. Thankfully, I have a laptop. My other colleagues have like MacBook or have like Mac Pros and an iMac. Pain in the ass to fucking shuttle out of the building.
Yeah.
All right,
But you were onboarded during the COVID.
Yeah, I worked
the COVID crisis.
Yeah,
beginning.
I worked remote for 2 months, I want to say, and I actually use my personal desktop, which is fucking terrifying if IT ever listened to this. I use my personal device at home, pretty much for all the work up until I got into the office because it was just easier. Instead of using the MacBook Pro because I didn't have like a proper setup. I require a big monitor for my setup.
You literally could have just gotten like a $30 docking station, rerouted a couple of cables.
I did eventually, like right before we went in. So like and that's actually the table that Todd had for his job. That's what that table was for. I had set up at my office. It had my ultra wide monitor from my old job because they just gave it to me because I was just like, just give me the monitor.
They gave it to him. There's air quotes there.
I asked my boss. I asked my boss, and I said at the time, I said, "Can I have this monitor?" And he kind of scratched his head. He's like, well, we'll trade it for some work down the line or something like that.
Oh, okay. So as a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours agreement.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, cool. So I got that.
That is one of the perks of working for a small business.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it was a monitor that I'm sure no one else would use. It just was such a unique one.
Yeah.
So I got that, and then $30 docking station from Amazon.
And you know he looked at it and he was like, nobody's gonna want this. This is fucking weird. Take it.
Yeah, I being the technical person at the company bought a lot of weird shit that no one else would ever use but was useful to me. Like I had a fingerprint reader for Windows because I was tired of entering in my password. I've got that somewhere around here actually still.
Why didn't you just set a pin?
This was so I had it for we were on Windows 7 at the time.
Oh, okay. It was before they allowed pens for Windows.
Yeah. So, and then we moved to, and then I eventually upgraded to 10, which made the fingerprint thing redundant.
Yeah.
My new computer has a fingerprint reader built in. It's lovely.
My old XP laptop had a fingerprint reader.
Yeah, my HP laptop had one too.
Now that that was a weird piece of technology.
It was
because it was just a little bar, right? And you had to like swipe it down.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking weird.
But at the same time, kind of convenient. I don't know. It's like this weird.
I mean,
thing.
The hardware on it was fine. The software was shit.
Yeah. Now I remember back in the day, they were like, "Oh, you can program up to like 5 fingers."
And I'm like, how many fingers do you expect me to lose here?
But no, they were like, "Oh, you can use specific fingers to launch specific actions. Like you could swipe your pinky to launch Chrome."
But that was them trying to sell it as another thing. Like,
yeah, for sure.
They were hoping somebody would develop that software for that because technically it's possible.
Yeah.
You just have to somebody has to develop the software for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I'm thinking about. I've got a story for retrospects, which we'll be recording next week. But have you ever heard of it was the Sharp TV? It's literally they made them from 1983 to 1989. They were specialty TVs for hotel rooms, mostly in Japan, but some in America. But basically, they were called the Sharp Nintendo Television. And basically, they were a Sharp TV that had an NES built into it.
Right.
That's cool.
Very cool, right? Very rare. Very, very, very rare. Somebody came in and recycled one, and they would not let me have it.
No.
And even if it didn't work,
you want
it. Who gives a shit? I could take it somewhere and pay $100 probably to get whatever it was that wasn't working fixed. But god damn, like they wouldn't even let me have that.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's so strange though, because when I was working for HP, and I'll say it, I was at the Galleria store. You get all sorts of random shit that was just like laid out on.
I'm looking right now at a Game Boy, just a plain Jane Game Boy that I got from recycling at the same company, but like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Back then they didn't care. Now it's like a huge. People have gotten fired for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's a new thing because like a guy dropped off a Wii like in the box.
Oh wow.
Super Mario Edition Wii. Had all the shit in it. It was just on recycling, and I looked at the guy at the front. And I was like, "Can I just take that?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, it's technically recycling if you take it, so sure."
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. In the last we had, besides the Sharp TV, we had a GameCube come through. We've had this wasn't my store, but Todd might have shared it with you guys, but he definitely shared it with me. A full Apple II setup that worked.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd shared it. Trust me. I was pissed.
Oh yeah, David was crying.
And like you
I
can't
did.
do anything. You can't do anything about it.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no.
Well, right.
Ugh.
You know why? Best Buy has probably signed a contract with
Thanks for giving it
whoever.
up, man.
Right?
Everybody
Michael,
knows where you
shit.
work.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
Everything that comes in for recycling is already property of who it's being recycled with.
Oh, I know. And I've even tried to, like, if I see somebody coming in with like recycling, I try to hit them off at the door.
Let
Yeah.
me
And
see
be
that
like, let's
first.
walk outside real quick and talk.
I mean, is that violating policy if you do it
Yeah,
that way?
oh, totally.
But no one has to know
Because
that.
I represent the company. Again, I think it just
I
depends
mean,
on management.
technically he's on the clock, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally working, like I represent the company. How is that not just like at that point just like asking for handouts as you're like working?
I guess.
I think it's bullshit. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fucking bullshit. But yeah, it's that's where we are. Oh, I was what I because it's very recognizable because it has a red top to the TV.
Yeah.
And it just is so recognizable, and I was like, I would give anything for this because it's
I mean,
one of those.
clearly
it's
you
one of
wouldn't give
those-
anything because you didn't give up your job for it.
And then now, knowing what I know now, and which I can't talk about right now, of course I would have done it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, no, obviously you didn't
Shut up,
know
Geoff.
though before.
Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna talk about next week for let me plug retrospects. Next week we're doing a side quest episode where I think we're gonna talk about 90s toys. But the week after that, I think we're gonna talk about kind of niche tech like the Sharp Nintendo TV.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but it makes sense.
It was that's the thing. It's a super rare thing. Kind of like, have you ever heard of the Super Nintendo Wow Stick?
No, I haven't.
We're gonna talk about the Wow Stick. We're gonna talk about all that stuff.
Dude, when I was a kid, my grandfather gave me a pachinko machine.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it barely worked when we got it, and I had to take this thing apart and put it back together to get it to work probably 3 or 4 times. But dude, it was the coolest fucking thing to have.
That's super cool.
I used to have like a.
I want one. I need to find where I can buy
God, you
one.
go to Japan, you find them for dirt cheap.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But it's like, and now this brings back memories. I remember when there were places that sold like used slot machines.
Mhm.
And now I haven't seen one of those places in like a decade.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to have a like a mini slot machine. That was pretty cool.
Well, no, this was a real pachinko machine that was decommissioned from a casino.
Yeah. That's. I mean,
And
dare I ask what happened?
Away.
I was about to say. I was like, dare I ask what happened to it?
It sat in the garage for too long, and too many of the components were. It wasn't repairable by the time we threw it out.
Yeah. Well, that's the unfortunate thing.
You mean it wasn't cost effective?
I mean, I think you would have been replacing so many components on it that it would not have been a refurbished machine. It would have been a new machine.
Hey, as long as the shell is there.
Even the shell was not whole.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I was about to say I disagree with that sentiment 100%.
We also had issues with cats in the garage, and so it probably smelled like cat piss, and just it wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
Damn cats.
I don't know. There's just certain things. It gets to a point where you're just like, man, it's not worth doing anymore.
Yep.
So now that we're an hour into our episode, yeah, man. So I'm almost a little concerned to bring this up because David apparently really wanted to talk about this. Gina Carino being fired from Mandalorian, David.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was.
What is your stance on that exactly?
So my stance is this is my official stance, but to continue the discussion, I'll change it up a little.
No, give us your official stance.
No, my official stance is I think that Disney has every right to do whatever the hell it wants. And in order to keep its image, they're allowed to fire or get rid of or write off or do whatever they need to do to preserve their brand. Because
but do you think that they should have fired her?
honestly, yeah. Okay, hold on. No, I don't think they should have fired her. I don't think they did it in the right manner. But at the same time, if I think what ended up happening is, and I can't comment on because I don't know. I think that if she had done other actions, it wouldn't have come to where it did. But I think it was kind of like my hands are tied. I don't have any other choice. Because I guarantee you, if she had done some sort of detractor or clarified her statement that she did on Twitter, it would have been water under the bridge.
Well, okay. So first off, she knew she fucked up because she deleted the tweets.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you get there and you suddenly have like 1,000 people sitting there calling you, talking shit,
but like,
of course you're gonna tweet.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
She deleted the tweets. She knew she fucked up, and then she's like, you know what? Maybe if I just ignore it, it'll all go away. So
I feel like we heard about this a year ago, though.
Well, no. So this is not the first time.
Yeah, it's not the first.
No.
Nope.
Oh, really?
This is not the first time she's posted controversial shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So like a year
times.
ago, she posted beep bop boop in response to people putting their gender pronouns on Twitter. Or basically, if you don't know what that means, it's essentially you're saying, look, this is the gender that I would prefer to be addressed as.
Well, no, it's saying these are the pronouns.
Yeah, the pronouns that you may the pronouns that you may use to interact with me.
Right.
It's just it's a very trans wow,
it's trans sensitive.
Yeah, thank you. Fucking words just lopped out of my mouth. So when she did that, it was just like seen as very she didn't actively attack anyone, but when she did it that way, it was seen as very like offensive.
Well, she pissed them off because she refused to do it, right?
Exactly.
Refused to
like
apologize.
She was mocking them.
They told her that she needed to add her pronouns. She said no.
And then she said that. She said,
it should have been her choice. And then because they kept pushing her, she decided to push back as she did the zip zop or whatever the fuck it was.
Right. So openly mocking them.
To openly mock them and say fuck you.
Right.
Okay.
That's when internet culture got blown out of proportions and, cancel culture and all that shit. And they tried to cancel her. And that didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is she was attacked.
Well, she wasn't attacked. She was asked to do something by a community. Because it's a community that kind of idolized her. Because think about it. These trans communities are very heavily led by feminists.
Okay, I understand that.
She is a very strong woman.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. She's very physical.
Right. Now, but she could very easily be mistaken for a feminist until her views were made public.
Okay, so because
they thought that she was on their side.
Why does that have to be a side?
It's
like, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Right, but they thought that she was going to be
they wanted her
a part
to be
of their cause.
They wanted a spokesperson that she had no interest in it. So they kept on trying to push an issue that she had no interest in.
It wasn't. They weren't mad because of that.
I'm not saying
they were mad because they realized that somebody that they looked up to, somebody that they thought was going to be a champion for their cause, was actually had feelings that were the opposite.
Okay. Did
Because
she
she is a
actively state?
conservative person.
Oh, okay. So she stated she doesn't believe in
No, she
transgender
at-
transformation.
this was the first time all this happened. This most
Right.
recent time when she got fired was a whole separate situation.
No. I know. I'm just asking for clarification on the first part. So
Correct.
she stated that she is not. She doesn't view transgender transformation positively. Is that
As
what
far as I know, she never actually said that she did not support trans people.
She's basically skirted around the issue the entire time. So that's kind of the problem with her posts. She's never overtly said a particular thing.
But
Okay.
she's made it very obvious where
She's
her
made-
position is.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and that's kind of, I guess, the
So she's implying a certain viewpoint.
yeah, like she's
Okay.
anti mask because she's never said outwardly don't wear masks, but
Right.
she's posting things making fun of people wearing masks.
Okay.
So shit like that is where like people are like, okay, well, we're starting to understand. And then the fact that she refuses to apologize for it, which, let me just throw this out here. You can have your opinion all day long. It can be a
Right, of
shitty
course.
opinion. It can be a good opinion. Doesn't really matter.
Right,
That's
right,
how
right.
David walks through life.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter,
Strut.
what your opinion is. However, you should realize that your opinion, if it's viewed in a negative light by other parties, will have consequences, and you have to deal with those consequences. So her not necessarily overt posts have now led to her being fired, which has now led to people going, oh, cancel culture. And
Right. The other side is
Just
woken
holding
up.
people accountable.
right. So, and this is the thing. She works for a company, or she did for a company that is quote unquote family friendly. That's their image. That's their whole image.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you read into actually how Disney actually operates, it's pretty fucking scary, and
Oh no, they are overlords to the max.
it's pretty rough.
Like you cannot step out of line. You cannot do anything that could harm the image of the company. You are
Right.
100%. Like once you sign that dotted line for Fox, Disney, anything of that nature, you better hope you never
You are
say anything
officially a
bad.
brand ambassador.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
Exactly.
better fucking champion that brand.
But the thing is, though, is that anything that could be construed as negative now in their image is immediately grounds for termination. So
Right.
that's what you sign up for. If you're going to go work for Disney, you kind of know if you say something out of line that could be construed as remotely anti-human rights, I guess is the best way to put it, then you're gonna get shit canned. And that's not cancel culture. That's just what you're signing up for.
Right.
So I'm annoyed by that argument. Oh, they're just canceling her because she's conservative. No, you can be conservative and still have good values and still have good morals and all that other jazz, right?
You can be conservative and not be an idiot about it.
And not be a shitty person.
Well, it's not being about a shitty person, and I honestly I don't believe that she is a shitty person. You can have certain views and not put yourself in certain situations,
Right.
And still be a decent person, Jeff. Because you don't accept everyone doesn't mean you're a terrible person.
I would beg to differ.
And that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, just like everybody's entitled to their own. The thing is, though, you can't force someone to be comfortable around another person, regardless of what their viewpoints are. That's just humanity. Now, am I going to ignore you as you die at my feet. No. You know, there's a lot of stuff that like example for me and Jim, I have the whole he's vegan. I'm most definitely not. I'm open to his I'm not necessarily open to his viewpoint about animals and his his morality behind that whole situation. I'm not going to really stick around with that kind of stuff. Am I going to help him if he ever needs help? Do I consider him a friend? Absolutely. Not necessarily the same thing as, hey, I hate trans people or anything like that, which don't take that out of context, please.
David's canceled.
Oh no.
I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that like I'm just greatly annoyed that people are like, oh, she got canceled because she's conservative. And I don't think they understand that it's not because she is conservative.
It's what she said.
It's what she said, and her the opinions on that matter. And that's it, like, end of story.
And it's not like she's the first. Like,
right.
You say shitty things, you're gonna get fired. Like, it is what it is, and it happens. Everybody, what's going on with Marilyn Manson right now? What's to an extent what's going on with Justin Timberlake right now?
Oh, what's going on with Justin Timberlake?
Well, hold on. He now with Justin Timberlake, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim. It's not that he did anything wrong. Oh, I mean, he did, but he's apologizing for things that he didn't do or for sensitivity. I'm just using that as an example.
I'm not giving you a position on one thing or the other, and I'm also not equating what Marilyn Manson did and what Justin Timberlake has been accused of doing. I mean, basically just being a fucking dumb kid. I mean, that's what Timberlake. That's very far away from what Manson. That's what I'm calling.
No, I'm not talking about Manson. That guy can burn. I'm talking about Timberlake. I'm talking about Timberlake. Like I don't know where, like, this is the only part of the story I got with Timberlake was that he said that he was like, he suddenly felt bad because of the Britney Spears documentary, and it brought to light her viewpoints of what happened with Timberlake's breakup and their relationship and the subsequent success he did by capitalizing on their breakup. Hey, Taylor Swift, where's your apology letter? Anyways, but he brings up he's apologizing for those things. That's the only part of it that I understood. Like, is there something more to it that I'm not seeing or hearing?
No, again, I think you're taking what I'm saying a little too serious. I'm just saying what's going on with these people out there, and I'm using him as an example. What he did was just he was just neglectful. He wasn't compassionate for her struggles with mental health, and basically just kind of was like, when they were younger, it was like, did they sleep together, blah blah blah, and he was like, yeah, of course they did, trying to be like a quote unquote cool guy. Same thing, he also apologized to Janet Jackson for the whole Super Bowl mishap. Like, it's
for not
like
standing up for her more than
not like Manson, who had a self-proclaimed rape room in his home. That's a little bit different. But
did you hear about Armie Hammer?
Armie Hammer with the cannibalism. Like, and I'm pretty sure these people would not identify as conservative. Like, if you're doing things that are shitty, you need to be held accountable no matter who you are. People who are definitely not, a couple of years ago, who we had Louis C.K., we had Aziz Ansari, people who I like quite a bit. We had Chris Hardwick to an extent, that all got accused of being fucking real shitty at one point in their lives, and they all dealt with the consequences.
Right.
He is just a cog in that machine. It doesn't matter if she's conservative. She said something real dumb. She equated being a conservative to being a Jewish person during the Holocaust.
Yep.
That's worse than anything. I mean, that's worse than anything.
Right.
Like, say what you will. Like, I have a trans cousin and love him to death. I have trans friends. Like, what she said when being like, hey, what's your pronouns, and she wrote beep bop boop, like that's fucking dumb, that's being shitty, that's just being a fucking shit stirrer. But ultimately, when she compared herself to being a Jew during the Holocaust, that's why she ultimately, I think, got fired, and she fucking deserved it, even though Walt Disney was an outspoken anti-Semite. So
hey, what he did, well, we don't talk about.
I mean, that's the thing. Like it's
so
convenient to forget.
To me, the whole thing of like, oh my gosh, fuck, this is cancel culture. This is bullshit. Nah, man, it's holding people accountable for what you say.
Right.
Like, I hate this shit of like free speech is gone, freedom of speech is gone. No, freedom of speech is very much there, but you also have the freedom of consequence. All right.
Exactly.
Any company, if I go
private
into work
companies
tomorrow, if I go into work tomorrow and I say something horrific about an individual or about a group of individuals, guess what? I'm gonna have to face the consequences. We've all been in trouble at work for saying either dumb shit or doing something wrong. That's being held accountable for things because we're adults. She's an adult. She knew what she was doing. She knew she worked for not only the largest corporation, that exists in this world, but she was on one of the most famous television shows that exists in this world. You can't think that like she's above the law in that.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? It's all too easy to get rid of a character, write her off, or write them off.
Yeah, if you saw what I shared, it was like, oh, what's her name's fucking X-Wing crash? She's dead. And that's it. Now, have you heard who they're calling to maybe replace her?
No.
Lucy Lawless.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
I like
that. Now, I doubt it'll happen. I love Lucy Lawless, but I doubt it'll happen.
She's getting up there in age. I don't know if
is that fans saying, "Hey, this is perfect," or is that like?
Oh yeah, no,
considering it?
Michael, you're correct. It's that.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
The thing is, though, but
hey, Google Lucy Lawless 2021, and you'll shut up, David.
The thing.
Oh no! I'm not saying she looks bad. I'm just saying she's getting up there in age.
The thing about that though is that like I wouldn't recast her. I would just be like, look,
you just kill her off. Hey, she's not as old as I thought she was. I don't even think you'd have to kill her off.
Who, Carino or
Lucy Lawless is 52.
The problem is that like with the plot thread that's happened now is that her character has access to things that Mando would need.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like.
But they could easily write it that he gets it through somebody else. Especially, I mean,
I get it.
People that he has contact with.
These guys are
now.
clever.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. They could either kill her off or she could go off and do something else in the universe, blah, blah, blah. Introducing her sister, Lucy Lawless. Like, they could do some random ass shit. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they could. They could do the classic switch where it's, or they could pull the roadie. And just have a new person,
which that still was just like a weird.
It's jarring when you go back and you watch those two films
in
order.
Yeah,
and it's like,
but now you don't think of anybody else. But now you don't think of anything else, right? It's kind of like it's kind of like Grindelwald with Johnny Depp, like
boo,
Mads Mikkelsen. Oh, geez, it's not that big of a deal.
No, I'm saying boo for bringing up Harry Potter.
Why?
Because Harry Potter sucks.
Oh, you suck.
Hold on. If we're really living in a cancer culture, or not cancer culture,
cancer culture.
I keep saying that too.
Cancel culture. We should have canceled J.K. Rowling in the whole Harry Potter universe.
Oh, I agree.
They kind of have.
I mean, I agree.
They have canceled J.K. Rowling, but the people that are the cancel culture are also a bunch of Potterheads, so it's kind of they're having trouble separating the two.
We need to get rid of all the theme parks. Just get rid of it.
That's more than just her. That's more than her now. That's been taken from her. A lot of people. I love this. Is like Harry Potter series didn't have an author. They just appeared divinely. Like just treat it like that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because like it's weird, right?
As if it was magic.
Like I had this conversation with Julia a while back. I said, if we have kids, like, are you going to be okay with me, reading Harry Potter to them, like after all of this happened? Because like I was a little torn, right? I was like, do I like continue to support this universe after these revelations have happened. And it kind of got to the point where I told myself, I was like, look, I enjoyed those stories. They're still very much ingrained in my childhood. I'm not going to let a shitty person who is technically responsible for these stories destroy
Well, it's
that
not
for
even
me.
technically. She is like those are her.
She
I know.
is responsible.
I know. Like, I'm not going to let it destroy me. But at the same time, it's like,
Where do you draw the
education
line?
education still has to happen, right? Like, so I will pass these stories on, but with the caveat and say, look, this person who wrote these turned out to be shitty. Like, that's just, it is what it is.
Well,
like,
I don't
and the
even
thing,
know that you would need to go that far. Think about it. How many books have you read in your lifetime that you know next to nothing about the author?
yeah, but I want them to understand like why all of a sudden we stopped. Like, if a new, like, say, like Fantastic Beasts 8 comes out, right? Like, why isn't Dad
Dear
excited
God.
about Fantastic Beasts 8? Well, this is why.
Well, no, because after 8 freaking movies, it should be dead and gone.
I mean, I think it needs to be dead now
How many
because the
Friday
last
the
Right.
movie
13th
wasn't
are
that
there?
good.
You say that, but like, that's the thing. They just elected a person within Warner Brothers whose sole job is to develop the shit out of the Harry Potter universe. They're considering doing a Harry Potter miniseries for HBO.
Boo.
I mean, this is
Look, I'm
probably
sorry,
this is
but
going to piss some
why?
people off, but within 10 years, they're going to reboot Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sure.
But
They're
like,
going to remake the movies with new actors.
the thing about that is,
Can they
though,
change
is
the
that
story to something more exciting?
David, shut the fuck up.
Now,
I'm sorry.
you're
What is
being
what's
antagonistic.
one
Something more
franchise?
Have
Hold
you
on,
have you not seen the comparisons between Harry Potter and Star Wars?
Oh yeah, no, there's tons.
David. Like, what is your
You can't
favorite
say Harry Potter's not
franchise?
exciting if it's literally Star Wars with wands.
It is Star Wars with wands.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say it's not exciting if you're a Star Wars fan.
dude,
Oh, I'm
here's
not-
the thing, man.
No.
Here's the
See,
thing, man.
look.
Dude,
I'm still bitter about Deathly Hollows Part 1
Why?
because it was Lord of the Rings.
How is it Lord of the Rings?
It was a lot of talk with a lot of running. There's nothing else I
Hold
have.
up.
What?
Did you read the books?
Yeah, of course I read the books.
Okay. Are you trying to say that because that one movie out of the entire series was shitty in your opinion, that
They
the
stopped going to
whole
wizarding school, so they clearly ripped off Lord of the Rings because they were in the woods.
I
was just genuinely talking about the fact that the entire movie was like centered around a tent and then running away from a lot of shit. They could have done all that in a 30-minute segment.
But you realize that's what the 7th book was.
Yeah, that's what the first half of the 7th book was literally them trying to avoid capture while they tried to find the Horcruxes.
I understand that's how the book went.
Sorry for the spoilers.
Okay.
I'm not debating that. Really, at this point, I hope you've listened to it, read it, watched it. No, what I'm saying is in terms of a film,
Okay.
I feel like it shouldn't have happened. I don't think they needed to do a 2-parter. They could have done a slightly longer movie and truncated that whole entire event.
Oh, you mean like how they truncated the fucking Quidditch World Cup out of the Goblet of Fire?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Fuck no. God damn.
No, that was the best part of or maybe not the best part, but
That
that was a
was-
very good part of the book.
I
was
cannot
Quidditch World
tell you that. Okay. Goblet of Fire. Me and my mom, we're going to go see Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
I am excited for this film. I've been excited for every Harry Potter film in theaters, right?
Uh-huh.
Get to watch Goblet of Fire. The fucking seed starts with the Quidditch World Cup, and I am freaking excited. I'm like, this is going to be so cool to see like this thing that has only been written on paper. And then they fucking quick cut to the goddamn tent. And that movie after that point was dead to me.
All right, so
it was
David,
dead.
Think about this.
Uh-huh.
Think about
Okay,
watching
first off,
a movie about football, and it's about some high school football players, and then they go to a professional football game. You would expect to see like a big real football scene, not just the kids wrestling around. But no, they get to the game and it shows them at the concession stand and it shows them, go into their seats and then bam, they're on the car ride home.
Well, and
It's
not only
the
that,
professional level. It's the one scene of professional Quidditch.
not only that, Michael, they're literally like, "Oh man, that was a really cool Quidditch match. Did you see how blah 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 did the thing?" And you're just like, "It's the biggest tease, man."
That was amazing, and you didn't get to see it. Sucks for you.
But you're comparing a high octane, action sequence, scene to an entire movie of walking and running.
Yeah, but the thing is, David, and I could be wrong if I'm remembering this correctly. I believe Deathly Hallows was technically longer than Goblet of Fire. I think. I think the book was longer.
The book, I believe you're correct.
So they got to it. Obviously, let's be real here. We're not making like the art, right? Warner Bros. Didn't sit down and say, for art reasons, we're going to make it 2 movies to make it as beautiful as possible to really tell this story. Obviously it's money.
I wasted my $18. I'm still bitter about it.
Well, I'm so sorry that ruined Harry Potter for you, but that doesn't diminish the fact that it's still a great series. I'm so sorry.
Can I tell my Harry Potter story?
Sure.
Okay. When the second to last movie came out.
The movie he's talking about.
Okay. All my friends got tickets to go see it at the Cinemark at Memorial City Mall. I failed to get tickets. And so I also had only seen one other Harry Potter movie at that time.
Oh,
it was,
Jesus Christ.
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
I can see where this is going.
It was The Prisoner of Azkaban, and I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was very
my favorite one.
I had no idea. I had no idea what was going on, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wait. Did David just compliment a Harry Potter movie?
That's a shock.
I never said they were bad. I just said that one movie sucked.
Jim, before you continue, I apologize. Jim, before you continue, David, which one is your favorite?
Of all the Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
All right, Jim, continue.
And also, let me also just say this. It's hard to keep my interest in things. I have ADHD, and so
sure,
that's why I've just never. I don't hate them. I don't actively dislike them like David does. But
I didn't. I hate the ones. God damn it.
Well, this is the movie so I I'm in line with friends. Then the news shows up, and I made it in line because I definitely snuck in.
Sure.
And so there's like a news crew there, and here I am, clear as day, on the news, standing there, like, shit, I snuck into this movie. I have no ticket. Then they walk up to me.
Oh no!
And no! Hey, can we ask you some questions, about coming to the movie and stuff like that? I'm like, sure. And then they started asking me like what your favorite Harry Potter characters are. So I just start making people up.
No.
Then I'm live on the news, and I have looked for this clip so much, and I can never find it.
Are you sure they even aired it?
That's the thing. They may not have ever aired it, and that's
they probably they watched it. And they're like, this guy clearly.
I remember them saying like, "Okay, we're live now," and like I remember that.
Well, they may have aired it, but they didn't archive it. Or they probably cut it.
I think it was maybe like CW News. Like it wasn't like NBC or any of those or anything. It was like local, but like
it wasn't Fox.
Even low down local shit. Like yeah. And so I just start like making up people.
Oh God.
And like just making up characters.
I feel like
I made up a storyline that was basically Jay and Silent Bob but Harry Potter.
Oh my God.
And then they like moved on, and I don't know if the woman like knew that I was full of fucking shit or not, but yeah, I was on the news just faking it till I made it, and I got into the movie and watched the whole thing, and I remember enjoying it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoyed Deathly Hallows Part 1. It wasn't that bad. It's not as bad as David made it out to be, but
what's the spoilers? What's the one with the baby, the dead bloody baby fucking Voldemort.
Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Why
No.
do I remember that?
Hold up.
No.
You're right.
In
You
like a white
actually.
subway station.
Yeah, that's part 2. Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
I
the
have
last one.
seen that then too. Then because I
Yeah.
distinctly remember that.
Yeah, sorry. When you said
the creepy baby.
when you said baby, because there is a scene in Goblet of Fire where like he gets like dunked into like the cauldron, and then he becomes adult Voldemort, I guess is the right way to put it.
He regains his human form.
Right.
Right. Yeah, are you sure that wasn't?
No, he's talking. The subway station is Deathly Hallows Part
maybe
2.
man, I gotta be honest, and maybe it was the last one because I think it might have been that one.
Well, it was like all white, right? It was all
Yeah.
white subway station,
Okay, yeah.
The baby was
definitely the last
bloody
Harry Potter
red.
movie then.
and it was like it wasn't quite a baby, but it was like a demon
Yes.
almost. Yeah, that's
Okay,
part 2.
then it was the last Harry Potter. I think that's why the news was there because
Right.
it was like this monumental midnight release of this movie. Okay, I remember that then.
Yeah.
And I was on TV just making up characters.
Oh, I mean, it is what it is.
At one point, I called him Voldecorn.
Voldecorn. Yeah, I mean, I firmly believe that they'll remake those movies. I am actually interested in a Harry Potter miniseries. There's tons of things they can do with it. Personally, if I were in charge of the show, I would be making a series with the Marauders, and I would literally call it the Marauders.
Well, so you would do a prequel.
Yeah, 100%. I would do
I think all
young
miniseries are good if they're prequels.
Yeah, I would do young Sirius, young James, just as they've graduated school, doing shit,
doing the starting the Aurors,
fighting against Voldemort in the early days. Like that would be
great,
badass, dude. I think, and I would literally call the Marauders. If you want me to write for the show, I'll do it. Easy peasy.
You know what? Joaquin Phoenix is Dumbledore.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
What, David?
Joaquin.
And you know the right way to say it, but you're trying to be like cool. Oh my god.
You want who? You want who to be what?
Dumbledore.
Joaquin Phoenix is Dumbledore. No.
Yeah, young Dumbledore.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you may as well get the guy they already cast for young Dumbledore.
No, wait, we can't do that because you know what? Fucking
Jude Law is already Dumbledore.
Oh no, I thought he like super ages in like this next episode or the next movie where he becomes old Voldemort all of a sudden.
No?
Wait, isn't this like okay, hold on. So explain this to me. How does Dumbledore ultra age like he does?
What do you mean?
Well, like in the series, didn't they show like Harry Potter, Dumbledore like young without a beard?
Yes. Okay. You have to understand though that at the time they did not know that Fantastic Beasts was going to be a thing.
Okay.
So they literally shot him with a little bit of de-aging makeup with no beard.
Yeah.
Oh no, he had a beard, but it wasn't white.
No, it was shorter. Yeah,
it was short. And so they're like, yeah.
This was also after the events of Fantastic Beasts.
Was it?
Yes.
Because this was Kid Voldemort.
Right. So
Fantastic Beasts does not have Voldemort in it. It is Grindelwald.
Right. So they've done math, unfortunately, that says there's only this much of a gap. How does he age from this to this? I mean, obviously the plans weren't laid back then, right?
No. What ended up happening was he sat there and he played a little bit too much with the time turner. And wham, that's what it is. Time turner accident. That's how he knows about those potential issues.
I mean, you could also be like, in his effort to stop Grindelwald, he maybe found a magical artifact that aged him or something like that.
Stretch is a son of a bitch. Look at how much older Obama looks after 8 years in the White House.
I mean, shit, any president.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
except for the last one.
That's because he dyes his hair.
He has aged a day.
He has a toupee and he dyes his hair.
He got fatter.
Well, he doesn't have a toupee. That's a very eccentric comb over.
Don't defend Donald Trump. Fuck you. Oh Jesus! I'm so pissed they didn't fucking do anything with him. This
Well,
goddamn.
you
piece of
knew they
actually
shit.
weren't
thought
going
would.
to.
Hold on, really? You actually thought they would have?
Okay,
Yeah.
I had a tiny ass sliver of hope,
Oh, okay.
which you have to have some hope, right? And then
You
they
do.
started going like, "Oh, we're not going to call witnesses," and I was like, "All right, it's over. It's fucking over." And even McConnell was like, "Well, I'm going to be a fucking turtle like I always am, and just not going to."
And then he went and talked shit to him about what he just voted against. It was so irritating.
Like, I don't know.
Oh, the political doublespeak. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he hasn't been doing it for the past 70 fucking years.
He just needs to go away.
I mean,
Just-
he's never going to go away. There's a reason he's from Kentucky.
Oh, there's a way to make him go away, Michael.
And
Get out
heard it
and
on
vote.
here first. Jeff,
Jeff, I'm
going
going to need you to confirm that you're not going to assassinate Mitch McConnell.
Oh, I have no plans to assassinate the turtle.
I was saying go vote.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. I mean, you're the one that went down the dark and morbid paths. But to be fair, I did make
Well,
it sound
you said-
like
you said
there's a
that
way to
you-
kill him.
You did say there's a way to get rid of him. So
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
just
you're
wanted to
like-
make sure that
by
anybody
voting.
listening doesn't think we're actually going to murder a senator.
At
Yeah,
Ranting
listen.
Media, we firmly believe in voting. We don't condone assassination attempts unless you're really shitty. Anyways,
Wait, what? we don't condone assassination attempts unless you don't miss.
yeah, goddamn, do it right.
And we're off the air.
So,
Jeff is gonna get arrested. He's
yes.
gonna get thrown in a fucking hole. Going to Guantanamo Bay.
FBI shows up. He's like, "This isn't a laughing matter now, is it, sir?" I'm like, "No, sir, it's not. I'm so sorry."
I'm so sorry, sir. Please, can I have a cup of tea?
Oh my.
Yeah,
I had a cup of
FBI. If
tea
you're
in 7
serious,
minutes.
if you're actually listening to this, I'm not gonna. I promise. Just throw a caution to the wind. It is a joke, and it is only a joke.
Hey, NSA guy that's listening in on our conversation. We're all good here, buddy.
So I wanted to kind of end this because we're getting close to the 1:30 mark here. Pokemon cards.
Pokemon.
Yeah, fucking Pokemon. So Michael said I lost my retail roots, which I don't quite understand how that works. Because I went through a McDonald's drive-through and I asked them, "Do you have the Pokemon card still?"
So
The lady
you,
was
as an
irritated.
adult,
Yeah.
went through a
With a
drive-through
beard.
Uh-huh.
to get toys from kids' meals.
Yeah.
Okay,
What-
I rest
what's
my
the-
Robbing
case.
from the kids.
What's the problem with that?
I
You're
rest my
robbing
case.
from the kids.
All right, did you buy Happy Meals?
Yeah, I bought Happy Meals.
How many did you buy?
4. We split them between me and Julia.
Wow.
She wanted chicken nuggets, so she got 2 4-piece Happy Meals, and I got 2 hamburger Happy Meals.
Like a child.
Okay. I fail to see what the problem is here.
That's why you're being judged.
But how does it mean that I lost my retail roots? Is my question.
You're wasting some poor person's time.
No.
comment on them being
First off,
irritated at you being a child.
The retail roots comment was a joke.
No, I know. I got it. But the reason why I'm doing this, Michael, is not because of you specifically.
No,
It's
I completely
because-
understand.
It's because David is fucking all high and mighty over here, and he's like, "I will determine if you've worked a real
Also,
retail job."
I have a point for David. Specs is not a real retail job.
Bullshit, it ain't. Okay,
You know
hold on.
why?
First off,
You know why?
why?
Because you don't let kids in. And if you don't have kids in your retail store, you're not a retail store.
Drunk people are just enough like kids, and it's about the same damn thing.
I'm sorry. Have you
Secondly,
ever-
no, hold on. First
Have you
off,
ever had to literally scrape shit off of product to put it back on the shelf?
yes, actually, I have. We used to have a guy who would
God.
walk around the store and he would drop little Lincoln logs all across the goddamn sales floor,
Oh my god.
and we would have to close down the damn store.
No, I'm not talking off the floor. I'm
Bro,
talking off of the product.
Well, no, you're right. We haven't had to do that. We just had a couple of people randomly
Because
run
there were
into
things
shelves.
that happened in that kids section at Books a Million
oh yeah,
that
unspeakable
I
things.
will not get into on this podcast.
Unspeakable
Now, hold on,
things.
Because we
hold on.
will
Now-
lose followers. And as
now-
David says, our 3 followers are precious.
Yeah, hey, it's 5 now. But anyways, no. Now let me be perfectly clear. I never saw these the Lincoln logs. It's just a very infamous story that I've been told.
Oh, dude.
Now,
see-
hold on. I will tell you this though. We did have one guy decide to wipe out 2 end caps and a shelf because he probably shouldn't have been in the store.
Okay, it was alcohol, right?
I can't not comment on exactly what
Cannot
it was.
confirm.
All I know, he was
It's a liquor
definitely
store. It was probably alcohol. At least it's fucking sanitary.
Yeah.
Not after you break a
I mean, the
Listen, working.
If you break a bottle of vodka on the floor just got cleaner.
So I just want you to picture, David, a bookstore in a mall. You would think
Okay.
that it would be an okay job. And it was, for the most part. I mean, I got paid
I
I
minimum
disagree,
wage.
but okay.
But well, for the most part. First off, Michael worked there far longer than I did. I only worked there for just shy of a year. I don't even think I made it to a full year.
No, you were there for more than a year.
No, 1 year. I promise.
I thought it was like a year and a half for
Nope.
you.
Promise it was a year.
I was there for I think it was 2.5 years.
now
I graduated high school. I started there, and I was there for 2 semesters of college, which is equivalent to a year. And
Hey man, look, I worked at that same mall at probably a very similar clientele type store. So I'm aware.
the bookstore in any real any store in the mall or
Also, keep in mind this isn't a regular mall. This is an outlet
hey
mall.
Jim,
yeah,
Yes.
FYE.
I didn't work at FYE.
Hot
Okay.
Topic.
I worked at Hot
Hot-
Topic.
Yeah.
No shit you did.
So
Anyways, continue on.
the mall bookstore, and I will say this is probably true of any large bookstore, is they treated it like their own personal library. First off, so they would just pull books off the shelf. They would sit
And
in
a
the
free
chair
daycare.
and oh fuck yeah, they just drop kids off wherever. They would pull books off the shelf. They would just start reading them. They would spend the whole day reading it. Then they would just leave the book in the aisle. That wasn't really that bad.
And that happens at all bookstores. We're not
Happens at all
saying it was just
bookstores.
us.
Right. It was the parents who dropped them off in the bookstore. They would head straight to the adult section. We would have to chase them out of the adult section quite a bit.
You had an adult
when you say
section?
Yeah,
When
100%.
you say adult, are you saying like penthouses and Playboys?
No,
The penthouses and Playboys in the magazine section, and then there was also the
there's
the
a
erotica
sexual
section
there's a sexual education section as
and the
well.
sexual education section.
So they'd always go there, and then they'd be like, "Oh, we won't be caught." There's also what was the giant book of dicks? I think it was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the big book of dicks.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was a good read through, by the way. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's pretty
Hold
fucking
on,
great.
Amazon.com.
The
Big Book of
cover
Dicks.
Was okay. Keep in mind this book was like 1.5 by 1.5 for the flat cover.
It was like a coffee book
No,
table.
it's literally a big book of dicks.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a coffee book.
Hey, so just
or a coffee
books,
table
books
book.
of books of all type. Nick from Retrospects just bought a anime MILF coloring book.
Awesome.
God.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Yeah.
But the big
Oh,
book of
Nick.
dicks was literally this 1.5 by 1.5 cover was just the crotch of a guy,
Yeah.
completely
on.
nude.
Great.
But there was a
Now-
dust jacket that was clear plastic that had underwear printed on it that covered it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Hold on.
The
so
dust jacket got lost within a week.
Oh yeah.
I'm sad. I'm
Why are
trying
you
to look for
sad?
your big. I'm trying to find your big book of dicks on Amazon.com because bookstores who has them. And first book that comes up, adult coloring book of glorious dicks.
No, it wasn't. It was a
The-
coffee book.
The Big Adventures of Tiny Dick adult coloring book. How to live with a huge penis.
Oh Jesus.
And that's about
I'm
Moby
sorry.
Dick.
No, the proper name of it was the Big Penis book.
The big penis. Okay, look.
So,
the
anyways,
big penis.
while he's looking that up, the reason why I bring this up is that because it was in the
yeah.
mall, and because there was it's the mall, it's an outlet mall, we had a very diverse set of clientele in a very concentrated area. Because Target's a big store, right? Well, Best Buy's a big store. Books A Million is not a big store. It's very small in comparison.
It's a big footprint.
It's a big footprint.
I would say, just real quick, I would say that
Yeah.
your Books A Million is
Michael?
as big as my Best Buy is right now.
No.
Physically, yes, but staff-wise, no.
I'm talking. Yeah, I am talking physical size.
No, it was a physically large store. Believe me, I had to walk end to end all day long.
Okay, here you go, Michael. Does this bring back any memories?
Oh no.
Well, I am.
Slack.
It's something I'm still working on, but you gotta give me a little time because some things have to happen. It will all come out.
I don't think
But
I
want to
that.
do. I want to do an episode, and either be a collaborative
Scott's gonna be
episode
so fucking confused.
where we do an
There we
episode
go.
called Retails, and
Your-
all of us.
Your suggested ads are fucked for the next week. Yes, wise one. I completely agree.
Oh God, you're right. Oh God, I'm gonna get all kinds of penis books on my goddamn feed.
Dude, no, Kevin. You think
Yeah.
Tyler's gonna be confused? Kevin is gonna be like, "What the goddamn?"
I'm just waiting for Kevin to pop in.
You know what's even
Ashley's gonna take his phone and be like, "This is mine now."
Oh my god! Well, what's even greater about this is that it's David. That's the one that's posting this into Slack with zero context. Oh man,
Oh god.
dude, just put it there. It's like I bought this for Morgan for Valentine's Day.
There you go.
Morgan is gonna love that, David. Perfect. Oh man. So anyways, yeah, we've got some stories we could obviously tell. I think we've done like a retail hell podcast at
That
one
was
point.
before me.
Yeah.
Oh, we
You
do.
ain't
We
heard
all got
nothing yet.
stories.
we yeah. Old man shitting in the urinal is probably one of my favorites to tell.
Oh, old man,
shit
old
on
man
the
shits
Uranus.
to the store is one of my favorites.
I mean, it's just it constantly amazes me. Like whenever the whole like wear a mask
The
thing
volume?
started, that was like early last year, and just the amount of people that didn't do it, and you're like, okay, I'm not surprised because like if anyone tells you to do anything while you're in a store, it's just a goddamn crime. First off, you're like, oh,
Speak to your supervisor.
exactly. You're like, please put the books up when you're done with them. No, fuck you. Or please don't rub shit all over the merchandise. No, this is don't. My favorite one was the one where we told a kid to stop doing something that was obviously wrong, and then the mom whips around and says, "You can't talk to my child like that." And I'm pretty sure we had to get security to escort both of them out. I don't remember if that was Books A Million or if that was Office Max.
It
But it was
doesn't matter.
one of those. It doesn't matter. The point is that people become the worst human beings when they step inside of a store.
Yep.
Um,
Like they just deviate down to like the
I-
worst versions of
it's like-
themselves.
So
it's like there's a field, right? And I distinctly remember telling people about this. There's
just-
like a fucking force field that they walk through as soon as they go through the door. They become 40 times dumber and lose all common courtesy for everybody. It's just,
oh yeah.
as soon as they leave the store, they're perfectly fine. They walk through that front door and goddamn, there's just
So what
crazy.
happens is
Well, it's because when they walk through the door, they've earned a new title. They are now the customer.
right.
Yeah.
So whoever said the customer is always right needs to be fucking drug out and shot.
I'm pretty sure they're already dead.
Now, to
They
be
need to be
fair,
reanimated, drug out, and shot.
to be fair, the only reason why I went through the drive-through, and obviously I know that was just a joke. I'm not like making a huge deal out of this. The only reason I went through the drive-through and asked the lady, "Do you still have the Pokemon cards?" is
Well,
because if you don't know, general audience, those things are very hard to get right now. Allegedly,
Also,
Yeah, because
you're
a
not
bunch of
guaranteed to get
collectors
them.
Are
You
they
don't-
wait? So
You
they're
don't want to
giving
order
a-
4 kids meals and get
Is
no
that the
Pokemon
Happy
cards.
Meal toy?
Yes.
Pokemon cards?
yeah, Pokemon cards is the
Ah.
Happy Meal toy. You are guaranteed a holographic card in each one.
Yep.
And it's the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, so it's a big deal because Pokemon cards are suddenly hot again. And basically, I was like, "Look, I don't want to get the Happy Meal if I know I'm not getting these cards. Like, it defeats the whole purpose." So it's why I asked. The lady was just like, "Yes, we still have them." Just like in the most defeated tone, and I was like, "Ooh, that's
Because
rough."
she's getting that like every other customer.
Yeah, I'm sure people have been calling to be like verify.
Did you at least feel bad for her?
Yeah, I felt bad for her. I laughed, but I was just like, man, I've been there before. Fucking any customer that's come in and be like, where the fuck is this thing that's on sale that clearly sold out 4 hours ago?
I had the other day.
You mean Twilight?
Can I get your PS? Can I get a PS5?
Oh
Like,
man,
oh.
that would.
No, homie, you can't.
You know, it's still bad. Like,
Oh, it hasn't changed. It's still just as bad as it was on December 24th. Like, it's still just as bad.
Oh,
Well,
it's just as bad since it
and
came out.
and I can't
Yeah.
remember. I think it was what was
So
it?
Jim, is that
November?
a no on the PS5?
That is a no. Yes, I apologize. That is a no on the PS5.
Show about that PS5. Scratch. You got any of that PS5?
I can't remember when I got the PlayStation 4, but I remember it being like several months after launch.
It was a year. I usually wait a year.
I got mine
And
the Christmas
Well-
after the big PS4 Christmas.
wait, when did Destiny come out?
Not long after the PS4 came out. Wait, no, Destiny was on
launch date,
PS3.
September 24. Okay, hold up.
PS4
PS4 launch date was November, so it would have been what's November to September? Was November to September?
That makes sense.
Like, how many months is that? How many months? Come on, Google, give me the answer. You can do it. You're a big boy now. 9 months. It took me 9 months to get my PlayStation 4.
But
Well,
were you actively looking, or is
That's
that
what I was
when
about to
you
ask. Were you?
made the decision? You're like, hey, there's a PS4 here. I'm going to get that.
I will, and this is actually kind of interesting now that I think about it. So Destiny was coming out, and I had a decision to make. I could have either gotten it on PlayStation 3, or PlayStation 4 was coming out, or it was
Right.
out, and I was like, you know what? I want to get it on PlayStation 4 because it was like right at the end of the console cycle.
Mhm.
Right? There's no more big games coming out for PS3.
Right. The next console was out. PS3 was on its way out. Everything's going to come out on PS4. If it's going to be on PS3, it's going to be on PS4 as well.
Right. So I made kind of a terrible decision. I was like, I literally paid off a credit card. I was like, you know what? I've paid off this credit card. Let me go buy a PlayStation 4. So don't ever do that, kids. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I paid it off and I'm going to go reward myself by putting more shit on that card. So yeah, I bought the PlayStation 4 just like kind of a spur of the moment thing, but it wasn't when I remember distinctly when I bought it, it was not like we're sold out of this thing. Getting an extra controller was hard. And I had to like go to a GameStop, which was disgusting. Don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah, I will never debase myself. in
Well,
that
it's
way.
weird because like I wanted to get the Cyberpunk 2077 like book, right? And oddly enough, everywhere was sold out but GameStop.
What about Amazon?
Amazon was sold out too.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm not talking about like the deluxe edition. I just wanted just the paperback version. And it was the strange God, it was the strangest experience. I go to GameStop. The guy was like, "Yo, you got a GameStop card?" I was like, "No, I don't." It's like, "Well, you want one? Do you know about the benefits?" I was like, I said probably the like shittiest thing possible, which was like, I haven't been in a GameStop in 5 years. I don't need the card. So
I imagine it was like, have you ever watched Parks and Rec where Ron goes into like a Lowe's and the guy's like, "Can I help you with anything?" He's like, "I know more than you." And I just assumed Geoff was like, "I know more than you."
I get pretty much, man.
Jeff's like, I have ascended. I am a PC gamer now.
Hey Geoff,
That is
what's
the
book you're talking
world.
about?
No, that is the world of Cyberpunk. That is not the guide.
Oh, guidebook. Sorry.
Yeah, it was the guidebook. And it was sold out at the time. This was like a day after launch.
Must have been this guy right here.
It was the complete official edition by Piggyback for 1748.
I mean, what did
I
it
miss
have?
Prima.
I mean, the whole first half of the book would have to be how to avoid all the glitches and how to get how to turn it, actually get the program to launch. And
The reason, and like I don't typically do guidebooks, and in fact, I'm a little disappointed that I bought this because like I haven't actually properly used it yet. It was intended because like I didn't quite understand the systems just yet. Like I didn't understand like what would give me better hacking abilities. Well, blah 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 blah. And like I eventually figured that out, but instead of like stumbling around with it, I just wanted like something to tell me this is what you need to do.
well, Jeff, there's
You
a
couldn't wait a
thing on your
week?
computer called the internet,
I was gonna say you couldn't have
and
waited
there
a
are
week.
better user-made guides.
I completely
there on the
agree with
internet.
you, but at the time, which was launch date, that didn't exist. None of those guides were out. Like the deep guides that you're talking about weren't there. So I wanted something without being spoiled, which most oftentimes will happen during those walkthroughs. I just wanted something, and it even just says it in the description, like we will tell you what to do, or like the best route without spoilers, and that's exactly what I was looking for, and that's exactly why I bought the book.
And did you get exactly that experience?
Yeah, for me, for the most part, the map was super helpful.
There is were you a Prima? I know we're going long here. Were you a Prima game guide guy?
No, so like I said, I will tell you this: I've only bought 2 game guides in my entire life: Cyberpunk 2077 and Kingdom Hearts.
The first Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
I've
feel like
owned
I
a
might have had that
number
too.
of guides to games.
Yeah,
I used to have them
I love that.
back
I
when
love
I
them.
played like the Super Nintendo games,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how you found stuff, because those games were not straightforward.
Yeah, that's
Like-
the other thing. Like,
Well, hell no.
I wanted to find
There
like
is
Easter
a-
eggs and things.
There's a guy, his website is gumroad.com, and he only literally sells like 3 different things. It's the Legend of Zelda hand-drawn guide, a Ninja Gaiden guide, and a Contra guide. They are only digital right now because the physical versions are completely sold out. I went on because I want that Legend of Zelda one because the artwork is fucking fantastic on it. They're not cheap. They sell for 35 like retail. They're like 150 to 200 on eBay depending on the listing.
Wow.
I want it so goddamn bad. It is such a cool little collector's item, but I can't possibly pay that much money on it.
Yeah, I understand. And like, I was even like wanting like the collector's edition of the Cyberpunk thing, but because I hadn't bought a guide in so long, I didn't want to like invest in the collector's edition, knowing that it was going to collect dust on my shelf pretty soon.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of what it's doing right now, unfortunately.
Oh, damn it.
I pre-ordered a year and a half ago the Ease 9 Monstrum Nox collector's edition for the Nintendo Switch, but that game's not coming out till August. So I couldn't wait, and I bought the regular PS4 version to play now, and so that's what I've been playing.
You know what? I just realized I forgot to buy 3D World, Mario 3D World. Damn it.
Oh, and y'all had a water bottle.
Oh, I don't give a shit about that.
I mean, we just walked past that in Target today.
If you don't get it, if you do get one, I want it. All right, David?
Okay, fine. Well, I've always come through for you before.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Target gets all the good Nintendo exclusives.
My Link's... I have a gigantic Link's Awakening collection, and David helped me with that. My pride and joy from that collection is I have these 7-Eleven Slurpee cups for Link's Awakening that were Canadian, that were Canada, they were Canadian exclusives.
That's amazing. Oh my god!
My friend went to Canada and brought them back for me.
Dude, at Todd.
Yeah, I'm sure he actually probably has that already.
It's not even out yet.
Oh well. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure he'd probably want it. All right, kids. I'm gonna put a tack in this. It's time to end. We've been running for almost 2 hours, so
all new Pokemon are weak.
All the new what?
All the new Pokemon are weak. They're all fake. They're all.
Yeah, we're not getting into this.
Look, I'm sorry. Look, the simple fact is, Torchic is a knockoff Moltres. Let's go. Bye.
Okay, and on that note of David being absolutely fucking wrong yet again. Anyways, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna throw a little bit of nugget here. We are trying to build our Twitch. So twitch.tv/rantingmedia. We'll be streaming games and podcasts and stuff all the time. I just played God of War for 2.5 hours today.
Todd's still mad at you for that.
Todd is mad at me for that, and that's okay.
What'd you do?
I think I tanked our average because only like 2 people watched it, which
your average viewers for that stream were 0.8. So even you weren't watching the stream the whole time.
No, I wasn't. I mean, it is what it is.
Wow, you couldn't watch yourself? Oh no.
No? I'm sorry.
This is an off air conversation. So
yeah, we'll talk about it later. Anyways, twitch.tv/rantingmedia. Also, if you enjoy listening to this podcast and all of our fine podcast networks that you can find us on, please consider giving us a review, giving us 5 stars. We are trying to expand our podcast listenership. It'd be really great if you did that. Next week, you can tune into Jim's podcast, which is called Retrospects. I don't know what time they're going to be streaming that, but I'm sure they'll figure that out later. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all for listening. You all have a great night. And if you're in Houston area, please stay warm. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Bye.